Now, you don't know Maddie Bradley, but she's a gym junkie. She warms up, does cardiovascular training on a treadmill, hits the rowing machine and the cross trainer, pumps weights and sweats it out at the gym 5 times a week. Maddie is 9.
Oh, yeah? Well, I know of children as young as 5 attending gyms, but it does beg the question, how young is too young? And are kids-only gyms a good idea? Let's ask Craig Harper. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Craig. Body image and kids is a very, very dangerous, delicate area to go. Is it healthy for kids to be in gyms looking at themselves in the mirror all the time?
One of my pet peeves is that everyone worries about body image and self-esteem and eating disorders, and we need to. It's an issue, but people need to understand that fat kids are not healthy and it's not good for them physically, and we need to worry as much, if not more, about their physiological state as their psychological and emotional state. So as an exercise scientist, I worry that, we have 15-year-old kids that weigh 100 kilos and we don't want to tell them that they're morbidly obese because we don't want to hurt their self-esteem. But we're not so worried about the heart disease or the bowel cancer or the diabetes or all the other ramifications of being obese. So, of course, we've got to be sensitive and we've got to look after the kids and we want to protect them, but we've also got to be realistic, and we've got some of the fattest kids in the world. Now, that's not an insult. That's an observation, and that's a fact, So we can either dance around it or say, well, the truth is our kids move less than ever, they're bigger than ever. Do kids need a kids gym? No. Is it a good option for some kids? Yes. Like we, as you know, David, I just set up one. And we've been inundated because people like their kids to train in a controlled environment, it's supervised and all those things.
But what about weighing kids? And the kids being very conscious of what their weight is. Is that not putting an unhealthy...
I'm going to say something very controversial. I reckon it's okay to weigh kids. I think it depends on how you weigh them, the situation. For example, if I...
Because the risk is the self-esteem of the
kids.
kids.
It's not like we weigh them and then pin up the figure on a board and we get everyone to stand around and point at them and they wear the pig mask, right? But as has happened in some institutions allegedly. But what we might do with a morbidly obese child is take some baseline data, which is do some testing, take some girth measurements, do their weight and go, all right, well, you weigh 104 kilos. Now, the truth is that's not good for you. And no, we're not preoccupied with what you weigh or how you look. We're actually really worried about your health. And so there are 3 things that we function on per se in the fitness industry, which is how people look, feel and function. And my priority is how they feel and function. I'm not so worried about the aesthetics, but just making sure that they're healthy kids and creating healthy habits.
How does it work, Craig? Do they do it in age groups, or are they all in together? Is it
all the stuff that we do? All the stuff that we do. That's my centre there, which is called Gecko Kids Fitness in Brighton, and that's young Sammy.
That's in Victoria.
That's in Victoria, yeah. And it's all group-based, so the kids work in groups of about 6 to 12. And I'm not kidding, we have been inundated, and even I'm surprised at the level of interest that we've had from mums and kids. And there's also a place for kids who don't want to do competitive exercise or sport-based exercise where there are no winners and losers. And so I predict that we'll not just like mine, but there'll be kids' gyms all over Australia very soon, just like we have women-only gyms, and we have centres which are being set up for older people as well. It's a great environment for kids to be with other kids and to be active and to exercise.
What about the kid that wants to come in and just pump iron? Is that a dangerous thing for kids to do?
Yeah, look, we don't do that because we don't do personal training for kids per se. It's all group-based, but kids can lift weights. We've spoken briefly about it before. It depends how they do it, and it's not about lifting maximal weights. It's about, lifting a few light weights in a controlled manner, but...
All right. Yeah. And obviously you'd need to be pretty certain on police checks with staff and that sort of thing. That would be something I'd be concerned about. Dave
said to me before off air, what about insurance? I said, it's all of that. There are a real lot of variables, and it's a new industry, kids' gyms. There are going to be more of them, and there are some, we do kids' yoga, we do kids' martial arts, kids' self-defence, a whole lot of different range of programs which kids are really getting into.
All right, I think it's probably a terrific idea.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Good luck with it.
Good luck with it, yeah. And we'll have a Skerrick more after this.